So, am I audible properly?
Yes.
Okay, just a minute. Okay, I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So, yesterday we have seen. Oh, okay. So, uh, yesterday we have seen that this is nephron and it is part of those pyramids inside the kidney, which is known as medulla of kidney, and uh, above the medulla or surrounding the medulla there is cortex, right? Now today, so is there any question regarding yesterday?
Nothing
No.
from my side.
No, ma'am.
Everything is okay?
Yes.
Okay. So we will run from this slide today. Blood enters to kidney through renal artery at hilum. I hope you remember the terminology hilum we have seen in this. Yes, you can see in this picture this whole portion collectively known as hilum. You can see renal hilum leveled here. So this whole portion through which renal vein, renal nerve, renal artery is entering to kidney. That whole portion is known as collectively renal hilum. Okay, so uh, renal artery is entering to kidney through renal hilum. Renal artery divided into small arteries and arterioles in cortex, and arteriole enters and subdivided into cluster of tiny arteries forming glomerulus. Each glomerulus surrounds by Bowman capsule. Now, what is the passage? Filtrate in glomerular capsule passes to proximal convoluted tubule, then loop of Henle, then coiled distal convoluted tubule, then drainage to collecting duct. Then, after collecting duct is coming to minor calyx, major calyx, renal pelvis, ureter, urinary bladder, urethra. We have already discussed this passage or this process yesterday. Now, what are the steps of urine formation? How urine is getting formed? First process of urine formation, as blood passes from different arterioles into glomerulus. Okay, as blood is passing from afferent arteriole into glomerulus, blood pressure pushes water, electrolytes, creatinine, urine, nitrogen, and glucose from capillaries into capsule through filtration membrane. Okay, as blood has its own pressure on the blood vessel walls of blood vessel, so it pushes water, electrolytes, creatinine, urine, glucose filter. the question asking yesterday, how getting to artery or to glomerulus. So it is always the semi-permeable membrane. In our body, everywhere we can find semi-permeable membrane. So blood vessels are also having the same, and it form glomerular filtrate. Blood cells, large proteins remain in bloodstream. Okay, so small things only can get permeated through this semi permeated membrane. The large things cannot go and come out of the membrane, they will be remain inside. So what are those? Blood cells, large proteins, they cannot go out, they remain in the main bloodstream only. So what are the things going on? Water, electrolytes, creatinine, and is
Ma'am, your voice is breaking.
voice is breaking or it's breaking from earlier.
It has been breaking.
Mhm. It's okay now? Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes. I think now it will be okay. Okay. So you have understood the first portion, first step.
Yeah. So
Right?
blood is, yeah, smaller portions being absorbed and the bigger portions like blood cells, large protein remain. That I heard.
Yes. So smaller things like water, electrolytes, creatinine, urine, nitrogen, and glucose, they by the force of blood or by the pressure of blood, they come to glomerulus filtration, glomerulus filtrate, and they get filtered. Now, second phase is sorry, glomerulus contains waste, but also other substances the body needs. What I have told yesterday, the glomerulus filtrate contains waste, means they refine, they filtrate the waste. But with waste, they also filtrate some body needs like essential ions, glucose, amino acids, and smaller proteins. So, what basically glomerulus do? Filtrate those small particles which have been semi-permeated from blood vessel to glomerulus. And what were those? Those were these: water, electrolytes, creatinine, urine, nitrogen, and glucose. So, when these things are getting filtered in glomerulus filter those things, and it it says that these are the waste material body should not take. So, after filtering those things, uh, we can find that some necessary body needs are also being filtered by glomerulus. So, what are those? Essential ions, glucose, amino acids, and smaller proteins. So, when the filtrate exists in glomerulus, it flows into a duct in nephron called renal tubule. As it moves, the needed substances and some water are reabsorbed through the tube wall into adjacent capillaries. What we have seen in the nephron yesterday, that the necessary things are reabsorbed by the surrounding capillaries of those proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule. Okay. Uh, as it moves, the needed substances and some water are reabsorbed through tube wall into adjacent capillaries. Most reabsorption takes place in primary convoluted tubule. What is that primary convoluted tubule? Can anyone reply?
Ma'am, is it proximal?
Yes, very good. Proximal is the most closest, right? That is why it will be absorbed from that portion the most. And what are the things that is being reabsorbed from that primary convoluted tubule? That is bicarbonates, calcium, and phosphate. Now, distal convoluted tubule reabsorb water and sodium, and loop of Henle reabsorb carbonates and glucose. Okay, very simple. Loop of Henle, carbonate and glucose. Distal, water and sodium. Proximal, bicarbonate, calcium, phosphate. You don't need to remember in such a detail, I think. You can just get the concept. Now, third phase is tubular secretion. The filtrate absorbed in glomerulus flows through renal tubule when nutrients and water are reabsorbed into capillaries. Same thing. At the same time, substances not required, such as waste ions, drugs, and hydrogen ions, pass from capillaries into renal tubule. Okay. So, not only the blood capillaries getting essential things from tubule to the blood capillaries, also the reverse process is going on. Means from capillaries, these waste ions, drugs, and hydrogen ions pass to renal tubule. Okay, so there is an exchange in that area where that proximal, distal, and loop of Henle, in that portion, not only capillaries are taking essential things from tubule, capillary is also releasing some unwanted things. And what are those? Waste ions, drugs, and hydrogen ions. And this process is called secretion. The secreted ions combine with remaining filtrate and become urine. The urine flows out of the nephron tubule into a collecting duct. We have already seen the process and the picture that from those tubules, the waste material is being collected by the collecting duct and it passes out of kidney through renal pelvis into the ureter down the bladder. Okay, you got the concept?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So next we will know about ureters. Ureters are hollow tubular structure connecting renal pelvis with urinary bladder. So you can see two tubular structures connecting kidney to urinary bladder. Those tubules are ureter. It continues with funnel shaped renal pelvis, passes down behind peritoneum into pelvis cavity and passes through the posterior wall of bladder. So where they are connecting to bladder? Through posterior wall of bladder. As we all know that kidney is located somewhat back side behind the peritoneum, right? And bladder is located comparatively more front to kidneys. That is why the ureters are connecting to bladder from backside. So, yes, it is continuous with funnel shaped renal pelvis passes down behind peritoneum. So, the ureters are coming along behind the peritoneum into pelvis cavity and passes through posterior wall of bladder, containing urine from kidney to bladder. Obviously, it is containing urine from kidney to bladder, about 12 to 18 inches long and half inches in diameter. Okay, so its length is about 12 to 18 inch. 12 inch means 1 foot, and 18 means 1.5 foot. So 1 to 1.5 foot long. You can understand now what is the distance or what is the length and what is the width. It is about half a inch. And stretch receptors in renal pelvis regulate urethral peristalsis. Okay, so urethral peristalsis can be regulated by obviously the stretch receptors in renal pelvis. Now we will know in detail about urinary bladder. So urinary bladder, you can see in this picture, well, a pear-shaped muscular sac. It's a sac, muscular sac, and become balloon-shaped as it fills with urine, lies behind pubis symphysis. So this bladder is stretchable. So when we are means putting so much of pressure into it, we are not releasing or we are not passing urine in time, and it is getting filled up, then it takes the shape of balloon when it is getting stretched so much. Okay, so yes, it has the capacity to stretch, but it's not okay to hold urine, because when you are always keeping it stretched, then it will lose its elasticity. So after some time it will lose its elasticity and it will lead to urine incontinence. What does incontinence signifies? Incontinence means inability to hold urine. Okay, so you should pass out urine whenever it is needed. Otherwise, bladder will lose its elasticity. I think this concept is very clear that if you stretch anything to its utmost and keep it stretched for a longer time, so it's very obvious that it will lose its elasticity, right? So you should pass out urine in time. Yes, anybody is saying something?
No, ma'am, clear.
Okay. So next point is made of elastic smooth muscle that helps in elongation of bladder as it fills and contraction as it empties. Same thing, when it is getting filled, then it stretches up, and when it's getting emptier, it contracts. Now, trigone is the area between two ureters and third opening of urethra or urethral orifice. It helps to stopping the backflow of urine. So you can see in this picture, it is well leveled here. Opening of ureter means you can see from where the ureters are joining to bladder. So we can call that this is a trigone, the portion between ureters means two ureters and urethral opening. It's known, this portion is known as trigon. You can see it well. Let me take the pencil. Yes. So in this picture, you can see this is one urethral opening and this is another urethral opening. And they are here connecting to bladder, and here this is the sorry, these two are ureters opening and this one is urethral opening. So here is a triangle we can see, right? Here is it is forming a triangle shape. So what the point is trying to say that trigon is area between two ureters and third point opening of urethra. It helps in stopping backflow of urine. Okay. So when we are passing out urine, that time urine should not backflow. That thing is kept in notice by this trigon area. Now, urethra. Urethra is canal extending from neck to bladder to outside. Male urethra is almost about 6 to 8 inches. Female urethra is less, that is 1 to 1.5 inches. Okay. So urethra is the part from where it is extending from bladder to outside. Means after the bladder to the outside opening of urine passage, you can say, from the urethra to urinary passage, that distance is known as urethra. So male urethra is a bit longer, that is 6 to 8 inches, and female urethra is a bit shorter, that is 1 to 1.5 inches. And this is the reason why female are much more prone to UTI, right? Urinary tract infection. Because females are having shorter urethra. You got the concept? So, females should be taken care more about their urinary hygiene. You should have taken care about, means a female should have more taken care about their urinary hygiene. Now, next we will know about urine. Urine is pale yellow liquid or amber color due to presence of urolithin, ammonia likes and ammonia produces the smell in urine. Okay. Now, pH of urine is 6. So, can you tell me what is this pH signifies? It is basic or basic or acidic? Is it basic?
Basic.
What is the normal pH? Means
7.
so if it is 6, then how should be its basic? If 7 is the midpoint of acid and base, then how it could be basic? It's a bit acidic, right? 7 is the midpoint, so above 7 is basic or alkaline. Below 7 is acidic,
Okay.
right? Yes. So a healthy adult passes about 1 to 1.5 liters of urine per day. This is a range for healthy adults. that is 1 to 1.5 liter per day. Now, we will know about some means what are the components of urine. Urine is a aqueous solution of greater than 95% of water with a minimum of these remaining constituents in order of decreasing concentration. That is urea 9.3 gram per liter, chloride. You don't need to remember the amount of all these components. Just remember, just see the constituents. What are the constituents? Urea, chloride, sodium, potassium, creatinine, other dissolved ions, I know organic, sorry, so stupid, inorganic and organic compounds like proteins, hormones, and metabolites. Okay, so these are the components. Where urine is containing more than 95% of urine is water only, and rest of the urine is urea, chloride, sodium, potassium, creatinine, and other dissolved ions, organic and inorganic compounds. So these are the constituents of urine. Now, some abnormal type of urine we should know about. There are several conditions that can cause abnormal components to be excreted in urine or present as abnormal characteristics of urine. They are mostly referred to by the suffix urea. Some of the more common types of abnormal urine include, means all these conditions having a suffix urea, means they are ending with urea, like proteinuria, oliguria, polyuria, dysuria, hematuria. So all these words are ending with urea. So urea has having the suffix. So what are those conditions? First of all, proteinuria. You can understand by the name that protein content in urine often due to leaky or damaged glomeruli. So when glomerulus is a bit damaged or leaked, then proteins are getting um, passed through urine. So when your urine is containing more than what is its consistency, more protein than its own consistency, then it is known as proteinuria. Next is oliguria, an abnormally small amount of urine. Abnormally small amount of urine, often due to shock or kidney damage. So due to any condition, if abnormal means urine is not coming properly, small amount of urine is coming out due to any abnormal condition, that condition is known as oliguria. That may be due to shock or kidney damage. It's not like that one day you are getting dehydrated, you are not you're not drinking proper water, then you are getting less urine. It's not like that this is the condition of oliguria. There is an abnormal pathological condition in body which is leading to small amount of urine, that is oliguria. Next is polyuria, an abnormally large amount of urine, often caused by diabetes. Means often it is seen in patients of diabetes, but it's not like that only patients of diabetes will have polyuria. Polyuria is the term signifying abnormally large amount of urine. Next is dysuria. Dysuria is painful or uncomfortable urination, often from urinary tract infections. Okay, any condition causing discomfort in urination or pain in urination, that condition is known as dysuria, and generally it can be seen in UTI, urinary tract infection. Next is hematuria. Hem, the word hem came from blood, right? Hemoglobin, blood. So hematuria means red blood cells in urine from urinary infection or any injury. Means in any condition, if red blood cells or blood is coming with urine, that is known as hematuria. Next is glycosuria. Glucose in urine due to excess plasma glucose in diabetes. Generally, it seen very common in diabetic patients. Glucose is coming with urine. Uh, if you have seen that some diabetic patients passing urine, and in that place uh, ants are coming, small ants are gathering, means ants are prone to sweets. So urine is containing glucose. That is why doctors sometimes ask that so ants are coming to your urine, or ants are getting attracted to your urine. That means if ants are getting attracted to your urine, that means your urine is containing glucose, and that condition is known as glucosuria, and it is seen in diabetic patients, that due to high concentration of glucose in blood plasma, kidney cannot filter. So means kidney is all filtering only, that is why it is coming out as unnecessary material of body. So this is glycosuria, excess amount of glucose or glucose in urine. Okay. So here we complete the excretory system. We have only included the main excretory system, that is renal system. Okay, and I hope you remember that we have discussed in the beginning that this is not the only excretory system. We have other excretory systems too, like skin is emit, emitting water and salt through sweat, and lungs is also exceeding water through expiration, and also carbon dioxide, that is very important excretion of our body. And next is liver also um, passes bile pigments through small intestine, and it produces feces. So this is the basic about excretory system. Any question?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
No, ma'am.
clear to everybody, right? Okay, so I
Yes,
think we should conclude the class with prayer. Inhale deep and long, upright your spine, close your eyes. Now observe your breathing pattern, how it's going on. Inhale and stable your mind. Fix all the concepts you have got today in the morning to your brain. Exhale all the toxins from your mind and body. Once again, inhale and become more stable emotionally. Exhale and become free, become light. Now adapt Namaskar Mudra in front of your chest. Inhale and start the prayer. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Now rub your palms. Put those palms on your facial muscles. Feel the warmth. Feel the energy. And open your eyes with a great smile on your face for the day. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
ma'am.
you, ma'am.
Share this slide in Drive, ma'am. Let.